Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on how to not get rejected. And overall, here's the thing, because I know people are probably looking this question up, how can I prevent myself from getting rejected to the next girl or guy that I want to talk to? And here's the thing, to just give you the short answer, there's no way around that. There's no way to not get rejected. That's the person that you like. It's their choice whether or not they're going to be with you. But there's no way of stopping it. And to give you the longer answer, and it's funny because I was watching the third one that they came out with, but the Terminator series. Now, if you guys are familiar with the Terminator series, in that movie, or in the movies, they said that it doesn't matter, how many times they send a robot from the future and either try to save or kill John Connor or Sarah Connor or whoever. You can't stop the inevitable. Whatever that word is, you can't stop it from happening. It's Judgment Day, the war, robots killing humans killing robots. That's gonna be the future, whether they like it or not. So that's how you gotta look at a rejection. It's you gotta just more so be prepared for it than to get all the way there and then you get rejected and then you're like, oh man, well, why did this happen? What is and here's the thing, whether or not you want to change who you are or just change the environment, but it's always good to change. I think a lot of people think that they're changing who they are for the next person, but at the end of the day, it's you really don't know what the next person you want to get involved with, you don't know what they like or not like. So I guess if there's something overall wrong with your character, and that's the thing, and I know people will overall think do others being funny, is that attractive? Is being funny attractive? Yes, it is 100%. I honestly know if there is ever a woman in this world, right? And actually, no, I'll take that back. Because there was, but she's in a relationship, so I'm you know what? No, I'm gonna respect that. But there's this girl that I met last year. And she's one of the funniest people that I met. And once I saw that she was in a relationship, I'm I'm not going to pursue. But if she was single, I definitely would go after her. 100%. Because I was nah, you good. You're the type, you're somebody where I'm nah, on a bad day, I gotta contact you, but she's in a relationship, so I'm I can respect that, But yeah, I was all nah, she cool people. But anyways, nah, that is attractive. If there's ever a person in this world that tells you being goofy or funny is not attractive, they're lying to you. They're one of those emotionally damaged people where nothing, happy. Because I'm saying if somebody cracks a joke, and it don't really matter what type of joke it is, but if somebody cracks a joke and that causes you to laugh, you're gonna really tell that person, oh no, I'm sorry, you're funny, I can't be with you. What sense does that make? When have you ever heard somebody say that? And if there has ever been a time where somebody had rejected you because you were funny or you were goofy, then yeah, I can understand if you're goofy too much, you're goofy in situations where you don't really need to be goofy at, yeah, that, that's going to be probably an issue, depending. But I feel like a lot of situations, though, like, you can be funny and you can be goofy. Like, at the end of the day, it's your choice, or you can be a serious person. But at times, though, and that's the thing where, like, if you meet a person and they're goofy and funny towards you, like, they're doing that because, okay, them being serious is going to cause them to be nervous. So I'm saying, like, me at the end of the day, what do I find more comfortable? Me being funny or me being serious? I find myself, me being funny, way more comfortable than me being serious. So, but that's the thing, though. And I'm like, when I do cross that bridge where I will get heavily involved with a woman and I end up meeting her parents, like, of course I'm going to be serious. But at some point in time, I'm cracking a joke. Like, I gotta, like, like break down that wall and stuff and just, say something that's relatable. Say something that we can all, like, laugh about and stuff. Tell them a story about myself, like, or if they saying something, like, just, have something to add to it, but make sure, like, all right, I'm gonna be thinking in my head, like, I gotta make sure that this is funny and stuff. But, and that's the thing, though, where, like, there might be at times where you do that and they're just looking at you all like, what are you talking about? Then yeah, that type of crowd, stay away from that crowd. That's like, honestly, one of the most awkward things, though. And that's, I think, like, me more so, like, I wouldn't even want to be involved with a person like that if they, found nothing funny or was like, or, had a family. Well, I don't know. Maybe if it's the girl, she finds me funny, okay. But if it's the family, I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm still, gonna be involved with this woman and stuff. But yeah, like, overall, getting back to, the main, objective within this podcast episode. But yeah, you overall can't stop somebody from rejecting you. Like, it's one of those things where, yeah, like I was saying, like, if that, man or woman likes you, you'll know. But I feel like that there's just so many different ways out there of rejecting a person. I feel like a lot of times, like, regardless of how it sounds, like, you have to be prepared to move on. Because it can be, and that's, like, what lingers in my head all the times. Like, when I do get rejected, I'm like, this girl's gonna most likely end up getting into a relationship at some point in time. And the reason why I say that is because they'll say some stuff like, oh, I'm not ready to date right now, or I'm not looking for a relationship, or I just think right now it's just bad timing. I got all these things. Like, they're like, giving you all this, like, spill and all this stuff, like, on why they can't, like, not go on a date with you, or not, like, take things to a next level or whatever. But yeah, I feel like that, I'm in that mindset now, like, where if a woman tells me that, then I'm like, yeah, she's most likely at some point in time gonna get in a relationship, and it's not gonna be me. So that's why I'm like, I'm not, like, waiting or being patient or any of that stuff. I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, you ain't gotta tell. And that's the thing, though. I'm like, you ain't gotta tell me all of that. Like, if you say, like, no, I don't want to be in no relationship with you, I'd rather hear that than to keep chasing you and nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, out the blue, you just get in a relationship. And I'm like, yeah, that's far more hurtful. That's way worse and hurtful than, like, being honest with me and straight up. Like, and that's, like, one thing that I always, like, talking on is, and there was this girl, I guess we are still friends, but we hadn't talked in, like, years. So I guess, like, we're just, like, internet friends, I guess. But anyways, because I think last time I talked with her, it was, like, high school, I think. But anyways, no, I remember when, I think, I don't know whether I just randomly had messaged her, because I was like, I would do that, like people that I was friends with on social media, but didn't really know them. Go and message them and just be like, hey, yo, what's up? So I don't know, like, who added who. But anyways, I messaged her. And then I remember we're kind of just, like, talking a little bit. And she came out and told me that, like, saying, like, hey, like, if you're messaging me, like, pretty much, like, saying, like, hey, like, if you're messaging me trying to see if, if we want to date or whatever. And she was just like, I'm, like, no, pretty much. And I'm like, and here's the thing, it's crazy because I respected that, and I actually ended up becoming good friends with her. Like, nah, she was somebody where I'm like, nah, you good people, like, you're honest, like, you overall, like, just be straight up with people. And I'm like, no, that type of stuff, as hurtful as it may sound, it's a lot better than to be led on and stuff. And I know people might have their choice and preference, like, oh, well, I would rather just be led on. Like, not me. I'm like, nah, that stuff done happen one too many times. I'm like, I ain't trying to go through that no more. So be honest. Like, that's all I ask for, rather than like me not knowing and stuff. Like, just be honest, because I'm like, that's my thing. And I don't think a lot of people have like sat down and like thought about that, but it's like, put yourself in that situation where somebody rejects you, and but they say some stuff like, oh, well, I'm like not looking for a relationship. They give you some reason on why they don't want to be in a relationship with you, but it's not them telling you, no, I don't want to be with you. But they tell you some reason. A month down the road or a couple months down the road, you see them like, posting photos or saying they changed their like thing to, oh, I'm in a relationship, or now they got like somebody's initials in their Instagram or Twitter bio and stuff. Like, most people will see that, especially if I like, had like feelings for this person. I'm like, yeah, but most people will see that. They gonna be hurt. Like, that's far more hurtful than you straight up just tell. And it may be like awkward, it may be a little bit harsh, or it may just not even a little bit, just full on harsh. At the end of the day, I think it's a lot better than leading somebody on. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that they're leading somebody on till the last minute. So yeah, I've told my stories once. I ain't trying to go through that crap out telling the story, same old story over and over again, but I think everybody knows about the whole situation with me a couple years back. But it's crazy to think that's been like 2 years now. But anyways, but yeah, it's not fun being led on. So that's why it's like, like, be honest if you're gonna reject somebody and things. But and then like, talking to the rejectee, like the person that got rejected and stuff, like the best thing for you to do, whether or not like it was like some random like reason, or them just being honest with you, it's like, at times like you just, we're not even at times, like majority of the time, you are just gonna have to move forward in life and move on, like, because honestly it's the best thing for you, rather than to get so caught up. And then there's like so many opportunities out, because I feel like it's a lot of things. I'm not trying to like sound like, oh, I'm, I get a lot of women or whatever. But I feel like that there were times in my life, like during that time, like a few years ago when I was chasing after that girl, there were like numerous times where there was like women where they did kind of like came off like, they wanted to pursue a relationship, where they, was attracted to me and stuff. And I just, was like, I'm not seeing that. Like, I'm not, gonna get in the mix of that, especially when I'm like, they're, the one girl that I actually do like. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, then that, I'm like, I'm not trying to throw that away and stuff for something I'm like, I don't really know about. So, yeah, but I'm like, that's the thing though, where I'm like, I'm gonna be just flat out honest, and it may come off as hurtful. I wish I would have. I honestly did. That's the thing. I'm like, why should it matter though? Like, I'm out here saying like that girl gonna really be offended by what I say. I'm like, bro, like I was out here, I was emotionally like, what's that whole like TikTok video of that dude? He's all like emotional damage. Like that was me. Like for a good few years, and so I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, I ain't even hearing that, but. Anyways, no, I should have just, like, no, it ain't going nowhere. But I'm like, that's honest. That's what I'm preaching in this, this podcast episode and stuff. Like, nah, it's like you have to move on. It's like, because if you don't, then it's just, bruh, it's gonna be like 10 times worse, bruh, sis, whoever is hearing this. But it's gonna be 10 times worse, if not 100 times worse. So that's why it's like I try to tell people that, like if they do approach me and they tell me how they like somebody. But yeah, it's, it's like, if they don't, or if they're giving you some reason, it's like, you gotta move on. It may be hard. You may want to keep on pursuing. You may want to keep on chasing, but like, if nothing's happening, I'm not trying to put myself in a situation where I get hurt again. So that's why, not, like, cause it's gonna leave you like, just feeling like not wanted. Like you're gonna be like, just overall thinking like, well, dang, like it's, I'm trying, like, how can I play? Like that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when his dad was all like, oh yeah, we're gonna, hang out, whatever and stuff. But then he just like, drove off and left. And then there was like that final part where he was like, why don't he want me, man? And then fell into Uncle Phil's arms, start crying. That's how you gonna be. And as hard as it, and I know a lot of people may be thinking I'm cracking jokes or I'm being funny because I'm out here referencing Terminator and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is some real life stuff. This is like some real life. And that's the thing where I'm like, I don't want nobody to ever like approach me and they say that they're, feeling the same way that I was feeling a couple of years ago, where it's like you can't eat, you can't sleep. You don't want to sleep because you're having bad dreams left and right. You can't even do your day-to-day job and stuff because you got like your mind is so bottled up, heart's broken. You can't, it's just like day-to-day. Like you just get careless. Like you don't care about like what's going on around you. You don't care about, because there's that that was like at the peak of the pandemic when I was going through my stuff. So I was like, bro, I don't care. I don't, like, I cared about absolutely nothing. So that's why it's like, when you get into a mindset like that, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. So that's why I'm like, hey, look, move on, people. Like, if you did get rejected, and how to stop it, you can't stop it. You can't stop a rejection from happening. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Twitter probably be a better option and stuff. But in the meantime, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 39 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And make sure you use my supporter credit code for Epic Games, TMossBoss. And in the meantime, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and peace.